Hi, my name is Peter Turos, and this is my PowerPoint on accountability. So first off, let's start off with the definition. The definition of accountability is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility to account for one's actions. Some examples of accountability. Actually, today I was coaching one of my teams, and I coach soccer. And we have a rule in the indoor league that we play in that substitutes are on the fly. So what that means is you can just sub them in and out, no problem. You don't even have to call the referee. Now, there was one very skillful player on the other team, and he was being marked by one of my defenders, but that was the person I wanted to take out. Now, me, doing the wrong thing, I pulled him out while they had possession of the ball in our half. So I called him off, sent my new player on. That player from the other team got the ball, ended up scoring. Now, that was my fault, and I made sure that the kids knew at halftime that I hold myself accountable. I put my hands up and said, that was my fault. I shouldn't have made that mistake as a coach. I was the one who put us in that situation. So it was a little upsetting, but the kids realized that it's okay for people to make mistakes without saying that you did it and holding yourself accountable. So we have a few biblical passages. One that I want to highlight is the one that says, "Take heed to yourself. If your brother sins against you, rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him. And if he sins against you 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day he returns to you saying, I repent, you shall forgive him." And that was from Luke 17:3-4. Now, the underlying message of this is, if they realize that they are wrong and they come and apologize to you, then that is good enough in itself, because they realize that they are wrong and they're man enough to come say, hey, I'm wrong, please forgive me. That you should forgive them. Yes, it may be very annoying that someone is messing up so many times, but if they realize from it and they make it better next time, then you should forgive them. So now we're going to touch on the 4 pillars of accountability. So we have responsibility, answerability, trustworthiness, and liability. My 2 ones that I want to highlight are responsibility and trustworthiness. So responsibility, I feel, is commitment, okay? And if you're on a team, you must be committed to that team. Nobody likes the person that shows up whenever they want. Nobody likes the person that is late and they're not on time, okay? And also trustworthiness. Your word is gold, and that's an old saying. And it takes a very long time to earn trust. So if you can be a trustworthy person, your reputation is huge in that field that you're in. Okay? Our behaviors can build or destroy us. Honesty and integrity are crucial. So, what does it mean? It means letting your actions rise above your excuses. Okay? We all mess up. We are humans. It's human nature to mess up. But it's about what you do about it. All right? Again, committed. It means to be willing to go above and beyond for yourself and the people around you. In this situation, your teammates, your coaches, your family. All right? And my most favorite part is taking ownership. You must take ownership, whether it's good, whether it's bad. If you're able to take ownership, then you show that you have that source of accountability, that you're mature enough to say, I'm wrong. But that's not the only step. You can't just say, I'm wrong, and not do anything about it. So, Pat Summitt has a very, very good quote on accountability. She says, accountability is essential to person's growth, as well as team growth. How you can improve if you're never wrong. If you don't admit a mistake and take responsibility for it, you're bound to make the same one again. Now, I tell this to all my players. It's okay to make mistakes. It really is okay. I can't teach them that it's bad to make mistakes or they should fear to make mistakes, because they're always conscious of, I don't want to make a mistake, rather than letting their mind free and playing the game. Okay? But you need to be able to stand up and admit to a mistake. No matter how big or small it is, in order to move forward, you need to be able to say, I'm wrong. Okay? So, moving on with Pat Summitt. She has another quote, and it's the importance of accountability in sports. Responsibility equals accountability equals ownership. A sense of ownership is the most powerful weapon a team or organization can have. All right? Pat Summitt was a very, very big time coach, and she was respected by many of her players. Okay? You must create solutions, not excuses. It's easy to blame others when things are going wrong. The hard part is to recognize the part that you played in it. Okay? If I'm a forward and I'm not putting the ball in the back of the net and scoring those goals, I can't blame my defense for getting scored on or my goalies to getting scored on. We are a team. There's no I in team. I know it's such a cliche saying, but there's no I in team. So it's not I did well, therefore the team did well. It's we did well. So once everything's going bad, it's easy to point fingers. But it's harder to say, I did this wrong, you did this wrong. Let's hold each other to higher standards. Let's make this better so we have more success in the future. So we have a scenario in a graph that shows team accountability. There's two types of teams. There's a team that avoids accountability, and there's a team that holds one another accountable. If you look through the sides, you can see the difference amongst the team. On one side, it encourages mediocrity. It lacks attention to detail and discipline. It places undue burden on the coach as the sole source of discipline. It creates resentment amongst individuals who have different standards of performance. Now, those don't sound too good. That's not the type of team that I would like to be on. I'm an overachiever. I would like to be on this team. I want to be on the team that ensures that poor performers feel pressure to improve. I want to be on the team that identifies potential problems quickly by questioning teammates' actions without hesitation. I want to be on the team that establishes respect among team members who are held to the same high standards, as well as avoids excessive bureaucracy around performance management and corrective actions. So basically, the team, the second team, the players holding each other accountable. The players say mediocrity is not where we are. We do not want this. If that's what you are, if you're okay with that, you can go to another team. They hold each other to a higher standard, not just the coach. Accountability in sports. On a good team, coaches hold their players accountable. On a great team, players hold players accountable. It's easier for a coach to say, that's wrong, don't do that. It's harder for a teammate to tell a teammate that that's wrong. But once the players start getting on each other's back and showing leadership and showing accountability, that is when you can take that team to the next level. Because you're not babysitting anymore. There's no nonsense anymore. You can strictly teach to that sport. You can achieve more as a team working together through mistakes. But everyone needs to be willing to admit their part in those mistakes. Hold each other accountable. That's the way your team gets better. How important is it to be accountable in life? Now, this transfers directly over to life. Being in sports is great, right? Because it teaches you how to, some skills that you learn in sports, you can transfer over to your own personal life. So there are 3 areas in your own life that you must be accountable for. Your actions and choices, your responsibilities, and your goals. Your actions and choices you must be accountable for by, if you did something wrong, you have to put your hands up, figure it out. Favorite saying from one of my coaches, figure it out. Got to figure it out, get through it, and make it better. Your responsibilities. You're an adult soon, all right? And this is what I tell my kids all the time, my young kids. You're an adult soon. You need to be able to take accountability for your responsibilities. If you did something wrong, you did it wrong. Nobody else made you do it wrong. You did it wrong. So what you need to do is make sure that you can hold your hands up. Like I said, that's my favorite thing. Hold your hands up and say, I did it wrong. This is my responsibility. I need to make it right. And the other big thing is the goals. If you don't take accountability for your goals, then you're not going anywhere. You're stagnant. You're in place. If you don't set a goal for yourself, you're not moving towards something. You're stationary, okay? Whether this is with relationships with people, with your fitness, with your career, you need to have something to look forward to. If you're not looking forward to anything, you might as well be standing still. Accountability in life is another great saying. I am free because I know that I am alone and morally responsible for everything I do. Nobody made you do it. You did it. This brain caused actions to make you do something. So we have importance as a role, importance and role as a leader. So there's a difference. There's bosses and there's leaders. So the leaders will show you how good to be. The leaders will say, okay, I did this wrong, you did this wrong, let's see how we can get through it. A boss would just tell you you did it wrong. There's no helping in that sense. The importance as a coach. You know, a coach is a very special person to people. They're like their second father, second mother. All right? You need to model this for your students and your athletes. You need to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable. You need to make sure that they understand that it's okay to make a mistake, but you also need to show what you need to do about your mistake and how to make it better. Okay? This is a good saying. A coach will impact more young people in a year than the average person does in a lifetime. For example, today, I just did an indoor soccer clinic. I had 86 kids in my indoor soccer clinic. That's 86 different kids that I'm giving my knowledge to. They are looking up to me because they want to learn. This is exactly it. Most people don't even interact with 86 people in a week, in a year, in a month. Okay? So to conclude, being accountable is a choice that will aid both individuals and team improvement. That's from Mr. Bruce Brown from our book. And another big saying, champions never make excuses. Thank you for watching the presentation. I'm Peter Turos. Have a lovely day.